Here we go! Mario Kart DS is without a doubt my favorite and the best Mario Kart of the bunch. And if you got a problem with that, fight me for it then. It took all of the things from the previous titles and made it 10 times better. But seriously, this game wasn't just good. It was a perfect storm of great track design, addictive gameplay, innovation, and the kind of competitive depth that made friend groups explode. And the crazy part, it's nearly 20 years old, and it still holds up. Today, we're taking a deep dive into what made Mario Kart DS so special. The context, the gameplay, the controversies, the online madness, and of course, snaking. So buckle up, grab your stylus, and let's roll back to 2005. The year is 2005. Nintendo is dominating handheld gaming with the Nintendo DS, a quirky little dual screen console that everyone, and I mean everyone, seemed to own. With touch controls, backwards compatibility, and a form factor that could survive being dropped down a flight of stairs. It was the must-have gadget. And like clockwork, Nintendo needed a Mario Kart title for it. The last entry before this was Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, a fun, chaotic double driver experiment that, while beloved, split the fanbase on whether the dual driver mechanics should stick around. For the DS, Nintendo wanted to go big. They wanted something classic, something competitive, and something that would push their handheld hardware to the limit. Enter producer Hideki Kono, a longtime Mario Kart veteran. Development took around 2 years. And for the first time ever, Mario Kart would go online. Kono described his goal for online play as making it accessible for every player, no matter their skill level. But before we get to the Wi-Fi battles and friend code nightmares, let's talk about the gameplay that hooked millions of players. Mario Kart DS hit that perfect balance between familiarity and freshness. It had all the essentials: 8 cups, 12 racers, and a roster of wacky items. But it also brought in features that would stick around for years. One of the biggest additions, the retro cups. For the first time, Nintendo packed in tracks from past Mario Kart games, reimagined for the DS. It was like a playable history lesson, except you could hit Donkey Kong with a red shell halfway through it. The DS lineup was strong too, while Luigi Pinball with its flashing lights and chaotic bumpers, Delfino Square, a winding scenic course through a seaside town, Airship Fortress, which literally fires bullet bills at you mid-race. But Mario Kart isn't just about racing, and the DS's battle mode really stepped up the party. The game featured several new arenas, alongside classic favorites, with modes like Balloon Battle and Shine Thief. The arenas were packed with interactive elements and shortcuts that made battles unpredictable and hilarious. For many players, battle mode was the perfect way to blow off steam after a long day of snaking through races. And let's not forget mission mode, a single player mode where you do everything from collecting coins under a time limit to facing off against massive bosses from past Mario games. Taking down Goombas in a cart? That was peak Nintendo weirdness. The controls were tight, the drifting felt smooth, and the DS hardware handled it all without breaking a sweat. But little did players know, those smooth controls were about to create one of the most controversial mechanics in Mario Kart history. Snaking. If you were there, you remember. If you weren't, buckle up, because this is where friendships were truly tested. Snaking was an ancient technique that let skilled players drift back and forth rapidly on straightaways, chaining mini turbos non-stop. It turned flat stretches of track into turbo boost highways, and if you knew what you were doing, you could leave the competition eating your dust. Now, to casual players, it looked like cheating. To competitive players, it was an art form. It required constant movement, precise timing, and hand-cramping dedication. But here's the thing, it wasn't banned, it was completely within the game's mechanics. So it became a high skill ceiling that divided the community. Either you learned to snake, or you got destroyed online. And speaking of online, now, we've gotta talk about the thing that blew everyone's minds in 2005. Mario Kart DS going online. Think about it. Before this, Mario Kart was strictly a get your friends in the same room kind of game. Sure, LAN setups existed on Double Dash, but no one actually did that unless you were a tech wizard or had a suspicious amount of GameCubes. With Mario Kart DS, suddenly you could race someone across the country or across the planet on a handheld over Wi-Fi in 2005. That was wild. Nintendo rolled it out using their brand new Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, which was free, no subscription fees, no battle passes, you just connected to your home Wi-Fi and jumped into machines. There were limitations, of course. You couldn't pick every track online, only a set rotation of 8, no item bans, no real matchmaking system beyond find me some opponents. Friend codes were your only way to play with specific people, and let's be honest, half the time you were punching those codes in like you were trying to launch a nuke. But when it worked, oh man, that feeling of seeing random usernames from all over the globe and then watching them rage quit after you blue shelled them on the final lap, priceless. The online experience also gave rise to a whole new breed of Mario Kart players, the competitive Wi-Fi warriors. These were the people who had mastered snaking, memorized every shortcut, and made you question if they were human. Lag was your only hope of survival. Sadly, Nintendo shut down the Wi-Fi connection in 2014, meaning official online play is gone, at least without fan servers. But during its peak, it was a revolution. It changed what we expected from a handheld game forever, and cemented Mario Kart DS as more than just the handheld one. Because here's the thing, the DS entry didn't just succeed, it influenced every single Mario Kart that came after it. Mario Kart DS didn't just succeed, it changed the series forever. The Retro Cup format became a permanent feature, giving each new Mario Kart a built-in nostalgia factor. Mission mode, though sadly never brought back, is still remembered as one of the most creative single-player additions in Mario Kart history. And online play, DS proved it could work, paving the way for every future entry to have online as a standard. Even snaking left its mark. While Nintendo removed it in later games by changing how drifting worked, the discussions and rivalries it caused still get brought up by longtime fans. The influence is everywhere, from the way Mario Kart 8 Deluxe handles retro tracks to the competitive spirit that DS brought to the forefront, and for a lot of us, this wasn't just another Mario Kart, it was Mario Kart. So here's the bottom line, Mario Kart DS is a masterpiece. It's fast, it's fun, it's innovative, and it was the perfect blend of nostalgia and new ideas. It gave us Waluigi Pinball, it gave us mission mode, it gave us the chaos of snaking, the magic of online play, and a blueprint for the series that still follow today. And for me, well, for one, it was my first ever Mario Kart, so the cartridge basically lived inside my DS. I played it on road trips, at school during lunch breaks, and late at night under the covers when I was supposed to be asleep. To this day, if someone says another Mario Kart is better, well, like I said, fight me for it then. Here's to the fastest karts, the bluest shells, and the era when snaking was still legal. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!